Good morning all, welcome back to the channel. Today is a biggie, second longest run on the 80-20 100k plan, my longest ever run and probably my first ultra. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. We're gonna head along Taka Trail for a little bit, head towards a little place called Appledore, lovely little village on the coast, then circle around the headland to another place called Westwood Ho, run a stretch of the coastline along there to Peppercombe, and then back up and around and back to my home. All in all, should be about 4.5 hours of running, around about 30 miles, so 50k. Now I signed up to Race to the Stones to run my first ever ultra, but it looks like I'm going to do one in training, so here we go. 4.5 hours of running. Let's go. So stick around. In today's video I'll be going through a bit of a training update on the last few weeks of training for Race to the Stones, my strategy for today, the route. We see some beautiful coastline as well as some lovely sections of Devonshire countryside. I'll go over my nutrition strategy for today, pacing, hydration, all that kind of stuff. Just enjoy the ride. Right, we just hit the Taka Trail, about a couple of miles in, so we're near Torrington. So this is the flattest and fastest section of today's route really. Should be doing them in around about 7.5, 8 minute miles. I do like the stretch of the course, very pretty. So yeah, all in zone 2, zone 1 as well, sort of on that borderline at the moment. Just keeping the first few miles nice and gentle. So pretty good section for a warm-up. And then about 10 miles in is where the run's going to start really, in terms of its elevation. Lots of up and down along the coastline. Westwood Ho to Peppercombe stretches, very undulating, but it's also very beautiful. So looking forward to seeing that today. And then yeah, lots of steep climbing sections on that bit of course. So get that hill walking practice in, leaving the ego behind, sticking to zone 2, walking where we need to, just like we might need to do at Race to the Stones. Now with it being a training run, it's unsupported. So normally in a 50k race, an ultra race, marathon, you'd had aid stations, water, nutrition, that kind of thing. But unsupported, so today got the Kinder 10 litre vest by Harrier, and it's absolutely stuffed full of food. So with Race to the Stones 100k quickly approaching, and with absolutely no experience in long distance kind of nutrition really, other than at the marathon level where nutrition is important but it isn't vital like it is with an ultra. Decided to do a little bit of reading, and I was kind of blown away by how much you're going to need to eat in order to stay, well, to avoid that bonk, really, isn't it? In that moment where you've basically used up all the calories that your body stores in glycogen and then starts to turn to fat. So from doing a little bit of reading around, I think the general consensus is about taking on board 200 to 250 calories per hour. And then I was looking at the kind of stuff that I had at home in the cupboard in terms of nutrition, looking on the back and seeing how many calories are in each one. And got excited to start off with because I have these Mountain Fuel pouches that kind of like this powdered carbohydrate energy thing. It's mostly just sugar, but it's also got some salts and electrolytes and things in it too. And I read the back and it said like 600 or 700 calories per packet. What? Well, that's good. I only need like 1 or 2 of those. Then I looked a bit closer and I was reading the wrong line. So it was like the kilojoules rather than the kilocalories that I was reading. And calories were like 170. So 200 times 4.5, what's that, 900? So around about 1,000 calories. I'm supposed to be taking on board today 2 500ml flasks, each with a Mountain Fuel powder in, 180 calories each, so that's 360. And then I've got 4 kind of gels or fruit patches from various different companies and brands to try out, and they're all around about 200 calories each. So that should be enough to keep me going. And then I've got 2 litres of water in the back, in the bladder. All in all, about 4 kilos of weight. So these early miles do feel quite heavy. Now every sip of one of these is around about 10 calories or so. So it's just kind of going to drink to first, remind myself to, in these early miles, to take on that food and nutrition. But yeah, see how it goes. It's time for the choo-choo tunnel. That's the busiest I've ever seen Bideford before. Looks like there's some sort of a motorbike show or festival. Got excited for a minute, thought it was a food festival. Might have stopped, got some extra calories. There you go. There we go, just coming out of Bideford now. First half decent climb out the way there. We're about an hour in, so time to take on some solid fuel. This is a lovely view, look at that. So, first nutrition then, cocoa and banana by a brand called Super Natural Fuel. Haven't come across these guys before. It's organic, kind of has like a baby food kind of feel to it. So just looking at the ingredients: apple juice, avocado, banana, dates, lots of good stuff. It's quite thick, so I'm just kind of sipping it. I'm loving this. I usually run on the other side, which is great. It's lovely, flat, smooth tarmac. But this side, a trail, fantastic. That's a lovely village of Appledore, looking lovely with all the Jubilee flags out ready for next weekend. We're now heading to Westward Ho. I think we might have a bit of beach running coming up, which will be interesting. About 11 miles in, 19 to go. Feeling alright, it is a little bit warm out. Yeah, feeling okay. Bad for 11 miles. That's a pretty ominous looking cloud. So you can just see on the far coast, Appledore there. Always love being able to look forward or back, seeing where you've come on a run. So this is a nature reserve. You might be able to hear skylarks chatting away.
No. Pretty Caroline, stone cold stunner. She was a winner, started working at the dine. Searches of her mind to count your blessings, 'cause it's telling first, telling first. They'll put you down and leave you there, don't make them scared. Yeah, it's the ugly truth. How they coming for you. Yeah.
This one's delicious. It's like salty chocolate, peanut butter spread. Yum.
A slippery slope, it's not enough to please you. Pretty Caroline, stone cold stunner. She was a winner.
That's Westward Ho behind us. Quite difficult running on those dunes. Alright. Sort of averaging, I think, about 9-minute mile or so. Pretty much bang on. I think that's going to get a bit slower for the next 5 miles or so on this coastline. It just goes like that. But I know the stretch of coast, so I pretty much know where I can push it, where I need to stop and walk and all that. But it's a beautiful day. We're about 16 miles in, 14-ish to go, about 2 hours gone past already. Distance is starting to bite a little bit, not too much. I think it will after this coastal section though. Time to dig in and focus.
Started working at the dine. Searches of her mind to count your blessings, 'cause it's telling first, telling first. They'll put you down and leave you there, don't make them scared. Yeah, it's the ugly truth. How they coming for you. Yeah, let's go. It's the missed opportunity train. It only comes on a very blue moon. Think twice, and you missed it again. Waiting in line for the party to end. Guess you didn't get what they asked for. Not a genius.
Alright, first section of walkable climb. So let's talk a bit about the training over the last few weeks. So if you've been following the channel for a little while, you'll know I'm an 8020endurance.com ambassador, which basically means I use the 80-20 method for all of my training. 80% easy, 20% hard. Get the plans from 8020endurance.com, and all of the plans are sort of broken down over 4 levels depending on where you are on your running journey. So I started with, it goes from level 0 up to 4 or 3. 0, 1, 2, 3, yeah. So I started with level 1 when I picked up 80-20, and I did the half marathon. Then I used the level 1 marathon plan for my first marathon. So the half marathon I ran in 1:18. Then my first marathon ran in 2:57. So then last autumn I used the level 2 marathon plan for Brighton a couple of months ago and ran 2:55. So for my first ultra, I thought I'd give the very top level of plans a go, just for fun, just to see what they're like, and if they were too hard I could always back off and drop down a level and kind of pick up whichever week of training I needed to. So the main difference between level 2 and level 3, obviously the runs are a little bit longer, but the biggest difference is you're running 7 days a week, and you're also running doubles. So you do have 2 speed sessions a week, and on those speed session days you usually have a recovery run to do a bit later. So mileage has increased quite a bit from a top end of 60, and I think this week after this run will be my highest mileage, almost 90. But we've had a couple of 80-mile weeks, we've had a 60-mile week, that was a rest week, another steep walking section. So yeah, so the last 3 or 4 weeks gone pretty well. I'm surprised that our body's adapted quite well to higher mileage, the longer runs. Honestly thought I'd give it a couple of weeks and then probably have to drop back, but everything's been okay. I had a little bit of a niggle with my ankle. It's kind of like on the level 1, level 2, or, you know, on the sort of pain threshold. It's on about a level 1 or 2 sometimes. At the moment it's absolutely fine. That's pretty reassuring. About 20 miles in. But I think it was just after I last updated you on the coastal route on this same one, same stretch, just went over on my left ankle, and I think because of the high mileage, there's only like a mild sprain, you know, I didn't have to stop running or anything like that. Because of the high mileage, it's just taken a little bit longer to heal, so just been quietly simmering away in the background. But I had a sports massage earlier this week, and that seemed to really do the trick, just loosening up pretty much everything. And the first 2 weeks pretty hard. Like, maybe you've experienced this before, but during a high mileage week, when you sort of get into bed, it's a steep section. I'm wearing road shoes, so I'll shut up and concentrate. Ooh. Here we go. Yeah, you sort of get into bed, and it seems to be mostly my quads, just got like this kind of like restless feeling. It's really difficult to describe, but it does kind of stop you from drifting off to sleep a little bit. Kind of like difficult to get comfortable in bed. They're not like sore, you can just feel they're sort of getting, it's almost like they're getting ready to adapt and recover over night time. That seems to have gone away now, which is quite good, so I was quite surprised with that. We'll see how it goes next week, how that feels next week, because today's my longest run, but next week's a high mileage week as well. I think it was last weekend or the weekend before we had back-to-back long runs. That was quite good. So Saturday 2-hour run, Sunday 2-hour run. That was quite fun. Didn't find that as hard as I was expecting, really. So Saturday I took the park around at Tamar Lakes. Oh, steep section. Jesus. Look at this. Like a cliff. Ooh. Yeah, so I ran the Tamar Lakes on the Saturday. Part of that 2 hours, a bit harder than I should have. But it didn't seem to have any negative effects, so that was good. And then the next 2 hours was a lot faster. I was running it along the Tarka Trail, pretty much as flat as it gets, over sort of 17 miles. So happy with that. I think it was about a 7.5 minute mile pace in zone 2. Bit of jungle running. Whew. Overgrown at this time of the year. Oh, it's a nice bit of shade. Some killer hills on this route. Oh, seriously steep. Running along the North Devon coastline, we wade through deep jungles. The ultra runner and explorer, labelling us, never stops. 20 miles I've gone a little bit mad. Three hours in, the last sort of 2 or 3 miles, just so narrow and overgrown. I don't know if you can tell, but my leg from ankle to thigh, all the way up stung with nettles. But look at that, what a beautiful view. We're almost at Peppercombe. I think we've just got one half decent climb to go down to Peppercombe, and a nice big climb up to the roads, and then it'll be about 8 or 9 miles to go till we get home. Oh, you can just about see Lundy Island through the mist on the coast. Trail race there where you run around the whole island. I think it's about 16 miles. Big pure trail run it. Can't remember what it's called. It might just be called Run Lundy or something, but yeah, check it out. It's a good run. Yet to do it, but I've seen pictures and it looks awesome. So one day we'll get over there, give that one a crack. Right, time to hook myself up with the next bit of nutrition, which will be this one. Right, let's go. So just leaving Peppercombe, pretty steep climb out of there, so take a couple of opportunities to walk. 9.8 miles to go, so 20-ish miles in. I'm getting pretty tired, but I don't feel like stopping. Such a cool looking house. I can't quite remember where I was with the training update, but I think the hardest thing about it has been not running the 7 days a week. I thought that was going to be tricky, but actually it's alright. It's one of those runs, it's just a recovery run. nothing too taxi. The hardest thing has been those second runs on double days, and again, not because it's hard, but because they can be about, on average, about 40 minutes long, and they're all in zone 1. And it's just tricky to kind of keep it in that pace, mentally more than anything. Like, staying in zone 1's fine, but it's just the kind of monotonous slowness to it. But it's probably about the pace I'm going to be running the ultra, so better get used to it. Alright, 6 miles to go. Definitely feeling it. But then I am approaching the marathon sort of stage. Almost 26 miles. The dune section and the coastal section from Westwood Ho to Perpignan definitely took it out of me. It was just tough going, very steep ups and downs. Like, even when you're going downhill, difficult to build up any kind of pace because it's so dry, it's very slippery. So I don't want to push it, injure myself, so gotta take it easy. And then it just became so overgrown that you couldn't really see where you put your feet, so to take it carefully through there. This is quite nice though. Had a few products from Mule Bar so far. Some of them have been good. This one's really nice, like a liquid pineapple coconut. Very nice. But something I am finding is that I do kind of crave something with a bit less sweetness to it. I don't know why they're so sweet, because they're full of that sugar and that quick energy you need to keep the legs going, but it does get a little bit boring after like 3.5 hours. 5.6 miles to go, and then I can say I've completed my first ultra. Yeah, we did it. We've hit the marathon mark. 4 miles to go, which means every step now we're in ultra marathon territory. I'll tell you one thing, I am looking forward to those 4 miles. Passing by, getting home, putting my feet up, rehydrating, refueling. Ultra marathon, come on. Runner on your right. Hi. Thank you. All right, 2.1 miles to go. 2/3 of a park run. We're almost there. Everything from about the waist down. Feeling pretty tight. Feet kind of sore. Otherwise, fine. Difficult to maintain, or like, just kind of push yourself and like force the pace. Yeah, just try not to force the pace. Just staying in zone 2. Getting the experience is what it's all about. At the end of the day, you know, in 2 miles time, that's the halfway point of the Race to the Stones. I've pretty much covered the elevation on today's course, so I've got to take that into account. But you know, 50k is tough, 100k is even tougher. So, all good experience. So lessons learning today. Obviously nutrition's important. I think I've done quite well there. Feel like I've still got lots of energy. Hydration hasn't been an issue, but has been harder to drink as much as I sort of want to and just stay on top of that. I am feeling pretty thirsty, so once I stop yapping, I'll be grabbing a drink. But then it's pretty hot today too. What else? Still like in two minds about whether to wear trail shoes or road shoes. Most of the time, road shoes were fine on the trails. Just those very steep bits, it was a bit gravelly and a bit slippy. And I like to go some on the downhill sections, and trail shoes give you that confidence, but on really hard surfaces, those lugs can dig into the bottom of your feet. So still on the fence about whether to wear trail shoes or road shoes. It's probably slightly leaning more towards road shoes, given that it's kind of flat race to the stones. Oh, beast of a climb. Look at that. Oh. So nutrition's gone well, hydration sort of okay, gear, yeah, everything's been fine. It's obviously quite heavy with so much water and food and my phone and all that kind of stuff knocking around, but it doesn't bounce too much. But sort of fully loaded up until like the kind of halfway point, it does kind of get a bit tiring. But race day I'll be wearing a different vest, a much more streamlined compact with just the 2 bottles, and then fill up at pretty much every aid station. Final mile, oh whoa, and a treacherous jungle to wade through. Oh man. Well, I hope Race to the Stones doesn't have anything like this. It's pretty treacherous. Oh, here we go. It's opening up a little bit now. Really wouldn't like to twist my ankle in the last half mile of a ultra. Nearly there. I've gone over 4.5 hours. It's just these sort of steep sections on the coast, and then every time there's a sort of jungle to wade through, slows you right down. Next time I plan a route out, I'll try and emulate the type of I'm going to experience on the Race to the Stones, and hopefully avoid some of these jungles. Look at it. Need a machete. Ooh. Hey, through the jungle, 156 feet till home. Oh, 50k, ultra marathoner. Oh, it's a good feeling. Oh, if you had told me this 4 years ago, I'd be doing this today, I would have believed you. No, I wouldn't have believed you. Even 2 years ago, because I was constantly getting injured. Even though training for shorter distances, like up to half marathon. So, to get this under my belt during a training run, difficult coastal sections, jungles to cut through, that we got there. 50k ultra marathon in the bag. Oh. Right, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know how your training's going down below. If you've had a big run recently, your long run, it's been a bit of an adventure, let me know all about it down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and until the next one, be the best you.